drink. Are we live yet? All right, we're live. All right. So welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson. How you guys doing? It's been a while. I was in Vegas all this past week. Crazy trip. Unfortunately, there was no MMA for me to go see, at least not that I knew of. I wasn't there for MMA anyway. I was there for something completely different. Anyway, want to give my initial thoughts and reaction to the women's fights in UFC 240 and Rizin 17, which Rizin 17 is going on live right now. It's 3 a.m. my time. I got to go to work in about 2 hours. So, UFC 240, first fight up was it now I got to look it up. Okay, we'll move on to the second one. Viviane Araújo versus Alexis Davis at flyweight. So, Alexis Davis, man, she looked old and slow in this fight. And Araújo was younger, faster, threw hands with the quickness. Good showing from Araújo, but look, man, she showed some serious holes in her game, even in a win. And, you know, I'm the first one to say, you know, if a fighter I thought showed flaws in a win, I'm going to point them out. I'll go into depth more of them when I do an actual review video, but let's see. Too much busy footwork for the sake of being busy. Too much bouncing up and down on the feet and everything, you know. Use the angles, use the lateral movement, but don't just be bouncing up and down the whole time. That's why she kept getting tired every round. It was busy footwork for the sake of being busy. Also, she left her chin way out there, okay? If Alexis Davis was a halfway decent striker, and she's never been a good striker, but if she was a better striker, she'd have found that chin a lot more. What fight else was first? Hold on a sec. Okay. Can't believe I'm forgetting this already. And I didn't even drink tonight at all. Recap. No, play-by-play. Oh, Jillian Robertson versus Sarah Froda. Okay, so Robertson went through a bit of a tough time in the first round. You know, Froda almost had her in that inverted triangle or reverse inverted triangle. I'm never sure in the exact terms. But Robertson got through it and won the next 2 rounds. And I think it was in the third when she got that TKO. Finally, really, truly earning her Savage nickname, which is Savage. So, nice elbows there. Congrats to Robertson on the first TKO win. Froda looked huge even at flyweight, but she's just not good. I mean, yeah, she's just not a very good fighter from what I can see. I think she gets by on being bigger and stronger than most fighters. Okay, so finally, Cyborg versus Spencer. Commentary was horrible in this fight, and I don't normally talk about the commentary. It was bad. They just kept giving Spencer too much credit for not really doing a whole lot. So, I mean, Cyborg won every round, straight up, not even debatable. But man, I'll be honest, and the so-called Cyborg Nation is gonna probably be on my ass about this. I don't think too many of them come to my channel anyway. But Cyborg's aura is gone. I mean, it's just gone. Okay, how does someone who is trained out of shooter box for so many years get controlled in the clinch the way Cyborg does as much and as often as she does? I just don't understand how a Muay Thai based fighter is like that. Also, she still reacts badly to getting hit, and we saw that a couple times. Jason Perillo had to remind her, "Hey, stay calm. We don't do that. We don't get angry anymore." He still had to remind her of that. So yeah, Cyborg still has the holes in her game with Nunes. Spencer, she needs to develop her striking game a lot more. I mean, she's got good grappling, but her striking is still not up to par at the higher... She wants to compete at the higher levels. Granted, it's featherweight. There's not much up at the higher levels. I mean, but she just fought one of the fighters who is and who can strike, and she showed that her striking is not up to par. Now, her endurance, her toughness, her chin, phenomenal. I mean, you could see the frustrated look on Cyborg's face, like, how many times do I have to hit, how do I have to hit her to make her go down? Basically, it was the look of frustration on Cyborg's face that I saw, especially after the first round. Because let's be honest here, Spencer was not supposed to get out of this fight, period. She wasn't supposed to make it to the decision. And afterwards, a few snippets I've seen of Cyborg in the post-fight press conference, she's saying she wants the rematch with Nunes. I'm not buying it. I don't think she wants the rematch. I don't think her attitude, the way what she was saying, and the way she was saying it tells me that she does not want the rematch. She says she wants it, but she's not saying it in a way that really convinces me, at least. I mean, she's saying, well, my relationship with Dana isn't good, and then she brought up, oh, the Bellator has all the featherweights. Okay, if you want that rematch with Nunes, you need to straight up let everybody know how much you want it, okay? Don't be hemming and hawing. No, you should say, I want that rematch no matter what, because I know I can fight better, and I know I can beat Nunes in a rematch, okay? Anybody remember when how badly GSP wanted his initial title shot against Matt Hughes for that rematch? Back in the UFC, what was it, 60-something, 70-something? I don't even remember. It was so long ago. He got down on his knees after a win and said, please, give me a title shot. Please, I want it so bad. GSP didn't hem and haw about wanting a rematch with Hughes, okay? GSP let everybody know that he wanted that rematch. He wasn't hemming and hawing. He wasn't saying, oh, no. GSP probably would have ate a can of dog food to get that rematch. That's how bad he wanted it. I mean, he got down on his knees and begged. Cyborg's not doing that, which tells me that she probably doesn't want it that bad. I think she felt the power of Nunes' hands, felt the power and accuracy, and now I don't think she wants it. Anyway, moving on. Rizin 17. So the first match was King Reina Miura versus Stephanie Edgar. And this was, again, King Reina fighting a halfway decent fighter and then looking like absolute dog crap. I mean, I hate to crap on fighters like that, but that's basically there's a pattern to King Reina. She beats up on some cans outside of Rizin. She loses in Rizin. She beats up on a couple more cans outside of Rizin. Begs for another shot, another chance, another shot. So they give it to her. And then she comes to Rizin, fights someone halfway decent and lose. I mean, this has happened like twice now. She came back and fought Caitlin Young, and no shame in losing to Caitlin Young. But then she did it again tonight with Stephanie Edgar after, basically begging for another shot at Rizin. I just think King Reina doesn't train hard enough. I don't think she takes the training seriously enough. Whoa, something going on in Rizin. Looks like they practically had to hold the guy back after the finish. Anyway, Stephanie Edgar just did practically whatever she wanted. Reina had a few spots in there, but Reina really tried hard to steal the fight in the last 30 seconds because of that open scoring, coming forward with some wild strikes. But Stephanie Edgar was equally exhausted, if not more exhausted, and she just, Reina's coming forward and she just throws a counter jab and lands right on King Reina, and it slows her. And then Reina comes forward again, and Edgar's just landing these exhausted strikes. Both fighters were exhausted. I thought Edgar looked like she was going to need the oxygen tank, but Stephanie Edgar got the decision. And then at super atom weight, we had Tomo Maesawa, the current Deep Jewels champ, versus the current Road FC champ and probably lineal Deep Jewels champ, Sahi Ham. The striking, Ham definitely had a height and reach advantage that she was using. She used her signature, pawing right hand to gauge. Landed the light left a couple nice times. Did really well with the left. Maesawa did try to go for a takedown. Couldn't get it. Ham went to the clinch. Started landing some nasty clinch knees to the body in the corner. Got Maesawa down. Just kept up the knees because grounded knees are allowed in Rizin. Boom. Jason, I think what's his name? Jason Herzog saw enough. Grabbed Ham and just tossed her, threw her halfway across the ring to stop her. Giving Sahi Ham the win by TKO due to grounded knees. So a very nice performance from Ham. I don't know what she was saying. Apparently, she was saying she wants to earn the shot with Hamasaki by beating Miyu Yamamoto. I'm thinking that Rizin wanted her to say that. It just seemed too convenient because Yamamoto was already there. Yeah, it just seemed too set up and convenient for me. Honestly, I'd rather see either of them fight Hamasaki next. Hamasaki is fighting 3-1 Suwanon Boonsorn next month at Rizin 18. Now, Boonsorn is a very good Muay Thai fighter, and she's pretty slick on the ground, but she's not going to be a match for Hamasaki, so that's basically a gimme fight for Hamasaki. So if they make Ham versus Yamamoto next, and it seems like they practically made it official already, then who does Hamasaki fight next? Does she fight another Can? Does she just take a break? I don't know. In the meantime, when does Ham versus Yamamoto go down? Because Ham hasn't defended her road title yet this year, and she usually does it in December. So who knows how long, she'll be stuck fighting for Rizin, because she also has duties with Road FC. Meanwhile, Yamamoto doesn't have those duties. So honestly, it could easily be Hamasaki versus Yamamoto, and then Hamasaki versus Ham after that. I mean, then they'd have her next 2 fights lined up instead of just a possibility of 1 fight. And not having to give her another gimme fight, because that's what it is next month. It's a gimme fight. And I'm going to make a whole video about that, because the whole situation with that being a non-title fight just irks me to no end. So, for all you guys watching, the chat is open if you want to say something, because I've already talked for just about 12 minutes, run out of things to say. But otherwise, excellent night of fights. I'm glad to be home from Las Vegas. Great night of fights. I mean, it was like, 3 decisions in the ladies in UFC, and then 1 finish in Rizin, 1 decision. So, I mean, not a whole lot of great finishes, but the one that did get the finish was pretty freaking spectacular. Looking forward to this next week. What we got up next? We got, let's see, Dana White Contender Series. I believe that is, I forget who's fighting. Maria Agapova, I think, versus, I don't have time to look it up. Then we got One and Combate on Friday. And then UFC Newark has, I think, 3 ladies fights Saturday. So we got a good week of fights to look forward to. We'll be back to my regular stream Wednesday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Or I guess it's, Eastern Daylight Savings Time, if you want to get technical. Anyway, guys, nobody's really talking in the chat right now. I'm going to log off. I'm going to try to get an hour of sleep before I got to go to work for 2 hours. And anyway, so if you're watching the replay of this, let me know what you thought about the fights tonight in the comments down below. Likes always appreciated. And what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA now, the best, fastest growing women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. And we'll